Ladies and gentlemen, we're really about to share our stories as creatives. So everybody, welcome myself, Pamela Mtanga, and of course, yay, Abe! With that said, I want to get into then the savings and investing and how you go about it in your business. I am not much of a saver. I'm not much of an investor. I'm more of a saver.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy because, as I said, like when we are in the space, you're expected to know everything because you are this amazing creative. You're amazing at what you do, but at the same time, you are just like the other person. It doesn't mean that you know everything.
Yeah.
So for me, one of those things is investing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know a single thing about investing.
It's such an interesting thing because it's like, obviously you're a saver. It's weird because you can kind of see your money, and that's how I used to always, I still do think of it like that. It's like, okay, cool, there's a little pocket that I can see.
Yes.
And it's almost like you just want to hold on to it.
So how are you, what's your relationship with your savings? Is it because you can see it, you think you can?
I think that was my thing. I'm only literally learning how to save and manage my money properly as an adult. Like, it's a very new thing to me.
Yeah.
I think my wife's definitely, she's on top of all that things. So she's been guiding me, and I've been kind of almost becoming less scared of the idea of like saving and investing. So
if I may ask, is it because she studied within that field, or is it because she's just taken it upon herself?
I think so.
Learn?
I think she's maybe respected money a lot more than what I have growing up. My starting point now, I have 1 more month on the car payment, and then I have disposable income.
Yeah.
So what we've been talking about now is that like that money goes to investments in terms of like my RA, because I'm a young creative that needs a retirement
annuity.
Yeah, so I need that. So that's something I'm gonna split that car payment into, and just a good old investment. So
and that's
like
the thing when you finish paying your car, or just maybe a house or whatever like big payment that you, or loan that you've been covering for a while, I think the one thing you have to kind of condition yourself to do is continue living like I'm still paying it.
Exactly.
So that I can still take that money and invest it. So you don't know the money.
I don't know that. So that money is just going to go straight into like building a future for family. And I think for the longest time, like I was like a single man just doing these things. So I didn't think about the future as much as I do now. And now it's like a big thing where it's like, I go to bed and I go, okay, cool. Like, what are the steps I need to take to make sure that my future family now is going to be secure? So
now you're an investor.
Hey,
and I'm a saver.
Hey.
And I'm a saver.
So
do you know the difference?
But do I know the difference?
Yes.
You can tell me.
So saving for me is saving right now and putting that money away in order for me to make use of that money later for a purchase or anything that may come up.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I understand when it comes to saving.
That's the saving side.
And you.
And the investing side.
And the investing side.
As I say, I'm all new to this. I'd say investing is this idea of like putting money aside so it can grow for you, right?
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing called compound interest.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Sounds but like big words, Russell.
But it's like it's the long game. So it's like it's not thinking about like the next 5 years, and it's like the way I see it, it's like I'm gonna put money away for the next 30 years. So when I'm 60, 61, I'm gonna have a nice bag,
a nice life. But also, I think another thing is like we live in such an era of YOLO. There's this running joke on TikTok that says, money in my account, 400 Rand, my meal as I'm eating it, 3999999. We really want to live this soft life, but we want to live it today.
The interesting part is like, and something I always think about is that I've seen little trust fund babies running around, and it's a cool thing. I mean, it's like people have generated this wealth.
No lie,
and it's like if I can do that for my kids or my grandkids one day, to like set people up or set my future children and their grandchildren up, so that they can have it a bit easier than what I had. It's a nice like thought on a legacy and something I would love to like be able to pass down, but it doesn't come without that like that sacrifice and hard work.
Yes, 100%. So there's this concept called paying your future self.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
basically setting yourself up for retirement and just
Yeah.
investing in the future. So
Love that.
every month you dedicate a percentage
Yeah.
of your money where you pay your future self. So whether it is your retirement annuity, whether it's a trust fund for your child, something that I think a lot of people should look into,
Yeah.
because you want to make sure your future self lives
Just-
large,
Yeah,
you know.
just
But another thing I've thought of is the fact that they say, oh, you in your 20s you must work really hard, invest in this and that, so that in your 40s you can live large. And you think, who wants to live large in your 40s? Bro, I want to live large now.
No, I get that.
And also now you're saying, the one thing that I wouldn't have done is buy that GTI. Bro, you bought that GTI. So now you're telling me not to do it? What do you say to that?
I think it's like, it comes down to like affordability, and if you can afford it,
Yeah.
definitely go for it. I think the space I was in when I bought that car, it was like, there were a few months that allowed me to afford it, but then there were other months where I was like, hey, my man, what did you do? Because I struggled at some point. And like the outside perception is, it's like, oh, dad, like this guy
He's killing it.
he's killing it.
Yeah.
But like things aren't always as rosy. So it's like for younger people, it's like, if you're sure you can do it, go for it. And like, if you really want it, for sure. Probably what I should have done in retrospect, like the best way to have moved forward from that situation was like, I could have bought a slightly cheaper car. I could have paid less, and I could have used the other money to invest that into my future, right? So it's like, I could have done a lot more with my money. And I don't have to be this like super old person to start investing. That's the misconception, I guess, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I could have-
You have to be rich and older to invest.
You can start young, and your money grows for a longer time.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think even when you see these ads at the airport, you see them and think, oh, shame old people. And I even think that like with the ads, and I digress a bit, they should start using like us.
Yeah.
And I need a yay with tattoos.
Yeah.
And he's saying I'm investing, instead of seeing a
Yeah.
65-year-old, because you start thinking, I have to start when I'm 65.
Yeah.
But no, you have to be eating your
Yeah.
money at that age.
Yeah,
Eh?
that makes so much sense.
In closing remarks, I want you to paint a picture of how your future looks today. You're retiring. For
Oof.
argument's sake, you are 60 years old. Paint the picture.
Jumping on a plane. No, I'm kidding. I guess like that the family's secure, but the one thing that we do want at the end of everything, just a holiday house. And it's like,
Oh, that's nice.
it's just a little place away from the noise and everything else. And the idea there is that like our grandkids one day can come over to the grandparents' house and they can just chill by the beach or something and break away. And it's like, growing up, there were lots of kids that we knew that could always just go December
Their
time.
holiday
house. What's your...
And mine, I'm booking those flights, because now you remember I was living my life thinking I have to save, I have to invest, and then I did.
Yeah.
My future is definitely filled with a lot of travels. I'm going to be that gogo who's just taking selfies in front of the statues and all of these landmarks overseas. And then what I also see is definitely having a farm. And in that farm, I have built a couple of Airbnbs, and I'm the one who's hosting the people. Auntie Pamela, just like making fresh bread in the morning.
Yeah.
That's definitely me. So that's how I envision my retirement. I think I also have envisioned that retirement a little bit earlier, because I want to go into the property space. So yeah, it starts today.
Oh, we're gonna get it.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll get
All
it.
the best.
We'll get it.
Oh, wow, that was absolutely incredible. I think we should really have honest conversations about money. I think the more open we are, the more we learn from each other. And I think with that comes a responsibility of teaching each other about finances. Now, as I mentioned, I don't know much about investing and all of that stuff. I think if you are like me, just make sure that you reach out to a financial advisor. And if you do happen to reach one, which you will, make sure you share and be vulnerable about your finances. We all want a secure future.